This is Elisa Balsamo and you are listening to the Wheel Toll podcast. Today's Giro d'Italia Stage 8 from Forlì to Imola, Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari.
Hello. It's Tota here. Now we're on the bus going to the start of the last stage of the Giro. It's been quite good Giro for the team with 2 wins. Malin now on second in the GC. Yeah, for sure we expected a bit more, but that's cycling. Malin didn't felt great yesterday, and that's the cruel part of the sport. But we still have 1 day to go, so we're gonna fight for sure for this Maglia Rosa, and the team is all motivated for it, and we are looking forward. Right now it's 8 a.m. We woke up at 7 and I'm super sleepy, but when we start, for sure we'll be already on the caffeine effect. So let's go.
We were brought into this episode with an audio diary from Vitória Magalhães of Movistar. She recorded an audio diary before the stage. Well, that is the Giro d'Italia wrapped. I'm here with Georgie Howe to chat about it. Georgie, hello.
Hello. What a great Giro d'Italia. We had some substantial lead changes and some new people sitting at the table and the big dogs.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me is a handful of breakout riders in this Giro and how exciting that is going into the future. But let's run down the stage really quick. We had a lot of attacks in the beginning of this stage. We knew that there would be a lot of teams that were really vying for the stage victory. There was one promising break with Lea Curinier, Sarah Casasola, who was on the attack earlier in the race, Amanda Spratt, Michaela Harvey, and briefly Lorena Wiebes, who was up there before getting dropped. Those 4 or 5 were kind of the main break of the day. We had Silke Smulders bridge up to them, and she ended up being the last rider standing as the race came closer into the finish. She was caught with 5.9 kilometers to go from the remainder of the peloton, which was really only 12 riders. Meanwhile, we had Longa Borghini sticking like glue to Reusser's wheel, not willing to let her go at all. Van der Breggen attacked a couple times in the final 5 kilometers, and an attack that she made with 2.5 kilometers to go stuck. She was followed by Liana Lippert. The two rode into the line together with a kind of chase from the group behind. Van der Breggen obviously looking for seconds and probably also the stage win, and Lippert just looking for the stage win. Lippert out-sprinted Van der Breggen in the end to take her second stage win of the race. Marlen Reusser rode in to take third on the stage, but it was Elise Longa Borghini who'd win her second Giro d'Italia in 2 years, incredibly. And just such an amazing bike race this was from start to finish. There were so many long games being played throughout the entire week. Quite a long list of breakout performances from riders who we've known for some time but haven't really had a really standout performance yet, like Isabella Holmgren, for example, who finished the stage in 6th and the overall in 7th. Just really, really, there's so much to say about this Giro that we'll do a longer podcast later, but it was just such a good race, the whole race, every single day.
Yeah, I think the women's peloton are really stepping up to the plate this July to deliver us some fantastic racing, and that for Elisa to do this 2 years running and on 2 different teams is pretty phenomenal. To be able to have the cohesion that she does at UAE, and to have had the cohesion that she had at Lidl-Trek, and it's quite remarkable to say that. Yes, it's a team around you, but also she's an incredible bike racer.
Yeah, she said both yesterday when she took the pink jersey and today after the stage that it was the result of many, many hours of training camps together. The team that went to the Giro with her, they all went to multiple altitude camps together. it was really a team effort. And the victory was, yes, the victory last year was in part due to Lidl-Trek, but this was really a UAE Team ADQ victory, this Giro d'Italia.
Yeah, you could see it. It was visible throughout the whole Giro. Everyone was fully committed to Elisa for the singular purpose of winning the general classification. No panic around it whatsoever. They attacked when they needed to attack. They saw the opportunities when they came up, such as stage 5. And the result was win by 18 seconds over Marlon Reuser, who we did pick to be the main challenger for this Giro. And look, hats off to her. She rode a phenomenal race.
Yep, absolutely. For Elisa, her second Giro d'Italia, I mean, it's just this far into her career, she's won so many races. She's such a versatile rider. She's so consistent. And she had this quote after the stage about how she's focused on results, not only the win, because results make a consistent make an athlete. Consistent results make an athlete. And she really embodies that. Like, she is just year after year, she's transforming herself as a rider, from like winning Paris-Roubaix to winning the Giro and then winning it again this year, which was arguably maybe harder to win it this year than it was last year. Last year we had an impressive field, but it really wasn't at the level that this year's Giro was. So it just watching her kind of evolve over the years and just get better and better is so cool.
I mean, the hallmark of a good GC rider is consistency, and Elisa is definitely delivering that. And I think the Giro this year was a phenomenal lineup. I can't wait to see what happens next year when the Giro gets its own month. But the like a contemporary of Elisa Longo-Borghini is Anna van der Breggen, and I don't think she had the race she wanted.
Yeah, van der Breggen today, she really wanted that stage win, you can tell, and this is the same finish where she won the World Championships back in 2020. Seems to be riding her same old style, but she's not at the level where it did the amount of damage it did back when she was winning Giros and World Championships. And I think she's getting there. Like, the way that she rode this week, I think that the peloton should be worried about her in the future. But I don't think, with how quickly the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift is coming, that SD Worx is going to challenge at that race at all. Like, it seems to me that they are going to be going in looking for stages, but obviously they'll have Lorena, who will be like probably win 2 stages. Like, she's just unbeatable, Lorena. But as far as the general classification, like Kopecky, I wish she could recover in time just to make the race more interesting, but I just don't think that that's a reasonable expectation for her. And I don't think that van der Breggen is there yet.
No, she's not. And isn't it a strange term to say that SD Worx Pro Time will not be a challenger for the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift?
Yeah, it's a crazy time we're living in.
Yeah, I mean, crazy time in the world, crazy time in bike racing.
Yeah, yeah. Reuser was able to take second overall, which I think she'll be disappointed in that. But it is, like Ezra said yesterday, her first time really going for a GC in a Grand Tour, and she was able to get second only by 18 seconds. So it's still an incredible result for her.
Yeah, 100%. And like, you got to take our hats off to her. She was, I mean, she's racing like a different bike racer this year. She's happy. She's got a supportive team around her. She's able to kind of write her own ticket in a way and have that freedom, which she wasn't afforded to at SD Worx Pro Time. And it's funny when you see the riders that leave that team and they kind of take the good bits from SD Worx Pro Time and leave the bad. And they seem to be better for it.
Yeah, I'm just watching the podium ceremony right now, and they've got a close-up camera on Lisa Longo-Borghini, and it's making me almost tear up because she's just so, I mean, it's like watching her process in real time that she's won her second Giro d'Italia, that like, it's not that last year would have ever been a fluke, but when you've done it twice in 2 years, you know that it's real life. Like, you've done it.
Yeah, she's truly a legend of the sport, and will go down as such. But someone who is up on that podium for the first time is Sarah Gigante, and I think she's someone who has been persistent in the race. Like, she has lost time in areas where we thought she would lose time, such as positioning in those fast finishes. But my goodness, what a way to enter into the Grand Tour, one of the Grand Tours for her.
I mean, I don't think Van der Breggen would have thought for a second today that she was going to be able to get back onto the podium of the general classification, but she really tried to distance Sarah every single time there was a descent. And Sarah was distanced a couple times, but she fought, and she finished on the Giro podium, which is just such an incredible accomplishment given everything that she's gone through, not only like this year and last year and the iliac artery surgery and everything, but everything she's gone through in her career. It has been so far from perfect. She has had to fight back from so many injuries and so many setbacks. She was on Movistar. It was not a great environment, and was able to find a home on AG Insurance Sudal, and they've really backed her as a rider, and it's just been so amazing to watch. Just like incredibly proud, and obviously she's a member and a friend of the podcast. I think if you can say that anyone is a friend of the podcast, Sarah Chicotte is a friend of the podcast. Yeah, just like man, like kudos, mad respect.
Mad respect, and mad respect to AG Insurance Sudal. My God, like for them to create such an environment that is so nurturing, to welcome Sarah into the ranks, and be able to foster her into this kind of confident rider that she is after so many setbacks. It's the team, but it's also Sarah. But I would also like to point out the strength of that team in general. Like we got Oshka Ziegart back in 9th on GC. She'll be really happy with that. We had Lea Curinier up there as well for a period of time. So they are not lacking in talent, and I think this is a team we really have to watch closely over the next few years.
Yeah, and I mean, we're looking at kind of the top 10 and the results of the race overall, I feel like it's really the Giro of comebacks, because we also had Liana Lippert winning 2 stages, and she's really had to fight to come back to top form after an injury last offseason. She won a stage of the Giro last year, but she was kind of touted to be like the next Van Vleuten at Movistar, and that really set her back for almost a whole season. And when she won the 6th stage of the Giro this year, it was her first victory since winning the 6th stage of the Giro last year. But she was able to take another stage victory on the final stage, and so I think she'll be feeling just incredibly confident going into the Tour.
Yeah, there's going to be a few very confident heads coming into the Tour de France avec Zwift, and a few very disillusioned heads. So it's off the back of this Giro. So I can't wait for July 26th.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really quick turnaround this year. Last year was a little bit of a longer turnaround due to the Olympics, but this year the turnaround between the Giro and the Tour is like not even 2 weeks. So I think it's going to be like, you've got teams that are probably panicking a little bit. FDJ-Suez, I imagine that there's a little bit of nervousness in the team with the way that they performed at the Giro, and we know that there's illness, but most of a couple of their riders are going in as key support roles for Demi Vollering going into the Tour. And I think that's something that's going to be making them a little bit nervous. Because how much can one really recover before the Tour? Like, can we consider Reusser a GC contender going into the Tour? Because there's less mountaintop finishes and more, maybe she's still a contender, even though it's only 2 weeks. Like it'll be really interesting to see which riders do take on the Tour now, and kind of how their form is going into the race.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like this Giro was phenomenally hard. It's going to be really, really tough to recover the body quick enough for arguably the biggest race of the year. So it's I'm skeptical to see how the recovery goes, mentally and physically. So let's just wait and see what happens.
And we have an audio diary actually from Lea Curinier, who was in the breakaway today for FDJ-Suez, and was one of their riders who was really looking pretty decent throughout the week. So let's hear from her.
So yeah, the Giro is finished, and we are really happy with that. So yesterday it was the Queen stage, and Evita did a good job. She finished 9 at the top, so that was nice for the team. And then, Lisa Longo-Borghini won yesterday the pink jersey. So today, we think it will be a big battle, maybe with Reusser. And finally, it was more like a day for breakaway. So Yeah, I went in the break during a long part of the race, and that was nice. And then I tried to give my best for the girl behind. And then the last lap was a big battle for the bench. And Evita finished in a good way also this Giro with the 5th place at the finish. So yeah, that's nice to finish like this for sure. We expect a better result for the GC, but yeah, it's like this. Sometimes we can't control the shape. So now I hope the girl will be really ready for the next big Grand Tour. But yeah, we can remind it was a good week for the Spirit team and everything. So we will try to keep these things, and then we will be ready for the next year.
Another team that is coming out of this race with a stage win, even if they had probably hoped for a little bit more. They were on the attack every single day. Lidl-Trek, Amanda Spratty.
Hey everyone, Spratt coming to you from the end of the Giro. Finally done, 8 days of very hard racing. I think it's the hardest Giro I've done in my memory, not from the heat, but just the racing. It's been full gas every day. Maybe also helped by our change in tactics for this Giro in terms of just trying to be really aggressive and take our opportunities and go for breakaways. So we might have ourselves a bit to blame for that, but it's been like really, really fun with the group we've had here. We've really taken the opportunities, and for us it's been a really successful Giro with Anna in the pink and the stage win, Bella and Shirin both with podium in 2 stages, and then today Bella 6th in the stage, so almost becoming a sprinter by the end of the Giro. And she had a really good overall result too. 20 years old, first big Grand Tour, just absolutely amazing. I think getting 3rd on the Queen stage yesterday on day 7 of such a hard Giro, chapeau. And yeah, I really love racing, I think, with our younger riders like that, because you just get a whole different sense of enthusiasm and how they're learning and being able to help. So it's been a really rewarding week actually in that sense. But yeah, vibes have been great. And today was still great. Stage 8, we were all pretty tired. We had 20k of flat, and then it was on like Donkey Kong on the first climb already. A break of 3 went, and then we were actually on the Imola World Circuit. And it was a bit aggressive there, and then there was a moment after the really hard climb, just was the perfect moment to attack. So Michaela and Harvey and I attacked together and bridged the 1 minute gap up to the breakaway to make a break of 5. And we were working pretty well together, but the peloton weren't really happy to let a break go today in the end. It was sort of always around that 1 minute mark. Tried to make it. I got dropped on the second last climb, and then the rest of the breakaway also by the last climb were reeled back in, so it ended up being a small bunch sprint. But yeah, I mean, we're super happy with the week. I think a few things didn't go our way sometimes, but with a bit of extra luck or a bit more legs, whatever, then I think we could have had even better results as what we had. But I think we're walking away like feeling really positive and happy about the week, and we all still like each other. We're all still happy, so that's always good after Grand Tour, because if something's going to go wrong, then tired, hangry people on day 8, it could go down, but we're all good. And now actually one thing, we did get gelati last night. John, our chef, he organised the gelati, and then after the stage today we had pizza, so I'm pretty stoked that I ticked off the pizza / gelati combination for my little holiday in Italy. And now I'm actually on a private bus service in the Lidl-Trek bus to my home in Switzerland with our wonderful Swanee bus driver Irati. So yeah, I got the whole bus to myself, just being driven. So I'm actually just rotating all the seats. I want to give each seat a go and sort of suss out what my preferred seat's going to be at the next race. And in other news, it seems like the whole convoy is still driving up here. We just had the Green Edge car. We were just fed them some Lidl freeway cola out the window, so they got a little bit of a feed. We went through the feed zone, and I'm actually just waiting for the next Green Edge car to come, because I want to feed them some Lidl chocolates. But So that's how we entertain ourselves on this drive amongst whilst there's a bit of traffic. But I think that's it for the Giro. Thanks for listening in, and hope to come to you again soon from another race. Okay, ciao.
Yeah, Lidl-Trek have really they're really coming into their own, and I think they will be targeting the Tour de France avec Zwift with the GC, but it was great to see them be successful here with the stage win, because that's exactly what they came for, and with the likes of Anna Henderson getting that stage win too.
And wearing pink. I mean, they still got to wear the pink jersey for multiple stages. They made a mark on the race.
Most definitely, and I think they'll be very happy with that, and taking a lot of confidence into the next couple of weeks.
Well, no one's going to be happier with this race than UAE Team ADQ, and we have one final audio diary from Brodie Chapman.
Well, we won the pink jersey. It's still sinking in a bit because, I was on the team with Elisa last year, and it was a completely different team, completely different approach, still just as committed to the overall. But it's one thing to win once and another thing to come back as a defending champion in a totally different environment with a different team and win again. Today we had a buffer. We've been committed all week to the goal and had full trust and belief in Elisa. She's such a pleasure to ride for. She's composed, she's down to earth, she gives credit where credit is due. And you really trust that she's a racer. You trust her racing instinct, and she's never bossy to us. She's never cruel or rude to us or any of the staff or anyone around her. And I think it makes it such a pleasure to commit everything to her winning the Giro. Today was a really hard stage, and I have really good memories from racing here for the World Championships in 2020. And racing on the Imola circuit's pretty special. But yeah, you got to eat your humble pie. You can't be too sure that you're going to win. The level here is probably even higher than last year, I would say. And everybody in the GC has a really, really strong committed team around them as well. So yeah, today we kind of just went into full protection mode and knew that if we put Elisa in a safe and good position, she would be able to follow if Marlon was going to try and attack. And Marlon's team also Movistar rode around her all day and made sure she was out of trouble. Yeah, so what can I say? Now we all had some delicious pizza after the stage, as it is true Giro style. We had Matar, who's the head of the UAE Emirates team, and Melissa, the head of our team, both come here from the UAE to support us on this final day. And it was pretty cool to have them on the bus giving us their full support and belief and backing, and it really raised the vibe. I would say that Elisa's family being around also really raised the vibe. It's just this whole feeling, and yeah, she had a feeling and she followed it today as well. And yeah, now we are just going to celebrate. We put so much work into this over many, many months, and you kind of want to get here in good shape and hope it goes well. And we pulled it off again. So it's what bike racing's all about. And I just have to thank each and every girl in the peloton for also making it a proper race. Yeah, Movistar won the stage today, which was pretty impressive. Sarah Gigante was third overall, which is pretty awesome to see the Australian flag raised up there on the podium today. And yeah, now it's about resting, eating more Italian food, and just celebrating with the team and trying to understand a bit more Italian.
All right. Well, Georgie, thank you so much for joining me for this final Giro Daily podcast. We'll be back at some point in the future to talk probably more about the Giro. I want to get Gracie's opinion on the race. And yeah, the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift is coming up quick. Pack your bags.
We're nearly there. Time to go to France.
This episode was produced, edited, and mixed by Will Jones at Red Bricks Media.